Welcome back to another explainer. Look, if you're gearing up for a high school chemistry exam right now, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're taking what could be a massive, impossible to memorize textbook topic, and we're framing it more like a thrilling detective story. Think of yourself as a forensic chemist for a bit. Our goal today is to learn how to instantly identify molecular suspects just by grouping them into their specific chemical families. By the time we wrap up, you're going to know exactly how to tell the difference between, say, a harmless invisible gas and a highly reactive liquid, literally just by glancing at its molecular blueprint.
Because here's the thing, carpet has this incredible, almost magical ability to bond with itself in these endless chains and rings. It's a property called catenation, and because of this, there are literally millions of organic compounds out there in existence. Memorizing them one by one, yeah, that's entirely impossible. So let's dive into this. How in the world do chemists actually organize this seemingly chaotic molecular landscape into an elegant, logical system without totally losing their minds?
Section 1. The Blueprint of Organic Chemistry.
Well, to find the answer to that organization problem, we've got to travel all the way back to 1843. The scientific world was honestly just getting over the shock of realizing that organic molecules follow the exact same physical laws as inorganic ones. And this French chemist, Charles Gerhardt, looks at this vast, chaotic landscape of carbon compounds and proposes this absolutely brilliant organizing principle, the homologous series. Look, if you remember only one single thing for your exam, make sure it's this definition. A homologous series is a family of structurally related organic compounds that share a common general molecular formula and possess the identical functional group. Having that identical functional group is absolutely crucial because it dictates the entire chemical personality of the molecule. Memorizing this one concept is basically the ultimate cheat sheet. It means if you know the properties of one molecule in a family, you can accurately predict the chemical properties of a completely undiscovered sibling in that exact same family. It's a real game changer.
Section 2. The methylene building block.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real secret of organic chemistry. It's incredibly mathematical. Chemists, they love a shortcut. These molecular family members don't just randomly appear. They mathematically build on each other using a very specific structural unit. Let's walk through this +1 methylene addition. It's so simple, but so powerful. You start with the absolute simplest family member, methane, which is CH4. Now, to get to the next sequential sibling, the next homolog, you just add one repeating methylene building block. That's 1 carbon and 2 hydrogens, written as -CH2-. Pop that block on, and you get ethane, C2H6. Add another methylene block to that, bam, you get propane, C3H8. It just keeps building like a giant puzzle. And since carbon has an atomic mass of 12 and 2 hydrogens equal 2, every single time you snap on this methylene group, the molecular mass of the compound goes up by exactly 14 atomic mass units. It is perfect, predictable math.
Section 3. Alkane versus alkene, the structural sibling rivalry.
Okay, now that we've got the math down, let's look at the two most foundational hydrocarbon families side by side. They might look like siblings, but they have this massive structural rivalry that completely changes how they behave in a lab. Now, what's really interesting about this contrast is how one tiny little bond changes the whole shebang. On one side, we have the alkanes, like ethane. These are the saturated blueprint. Every single carbon is holding hands with 4 other atoms using only single covalent bonds. Because their bonding capacity is totally full or saturated, they are relatively unreactive. Pretty stable, actually. But then we have the alkenes, like ethane. These are unsaturated because they contain at least one carbon-carbon double bond. And that double bond, it's basically a region of incredibly high electron density just waiting to be attacked. It makes alkenes highly, highly reactive.
Section 4. Expanding the chemical family tree. Now, the true beauty of homology is that it doesn't just stop with simple hydrocarbons like alkanes and alkenes. Oh no, this system elegantly expands to include families that feature entirely different functional atoms, heteroatoms, like oxygen. The math acts as a universal blueprint. So for alkanes, the formula is CnH2n+2. For alkenes, with that double bond, we lose 2 hydrogens, making it strictly CnH2n. But watch how seamlessly the series adapts here. If we look at alcohols, the blueprint shifts to CnH2n+1 with an OH hydroxyl group attached at the end. Take ethane, which is a gas. If we swap out just 1 hydrogen for an OH group, we instantly get liquid ethanol. We literally changed a gas into a liquid alcohol, yet the underlying math rule still rigidly applies to its family. Carboxylic acids follow suit too, utilizing a COOH group. So whether it's a simple gas or a complex acid, the math stays completely 100% consistent.
Section 5. Physical property trends. Let's move along and see how this builds from the tiny nanometer scale of atoms in math to the macroscopic physical properties that you can actually see, touch, and measure in a beaker. Because while members of a homologous series have nearly identical chemical reactions, their physical properties undergo this really smooth, predictable shift. And it all comes down to the invisible forces acting between the molecules. As you keep adding those methylene blocks and the carbon chain gets longer and heavier, the molecule's overall surface area increases. Think of London dispersion forces kind of like Velcro. A really short carbon chain is like a tiny single square of Velcro, super easy to just pull apart, right? But a long carbon chain, that's like a massive, long strip of Velcro. The increased surface area provides way more points of contact for temporary fluctuating dipoles to form, and this results in incredibly strong cohesive forces pulling the molecules together.
Okay, if you're prepping for an exam, listen up, because this is high-yield review material for sure. When those dispersion forces get stronger due to longer chains, the physical changes are honestly dramatic. Boiling points and melting points steadily increase, simply because you need far more thermal energy to pull those sticky Velcro molecules apart. Density goes up. Viscosity, which is just the resistance to flow, increases because longer molecular chains literally tangle up with each other, kind of like a giant bowl of spaghetti. Meanwhile, flammability actually goes down because heavier molecules are a lot harder to vaporize and ignite. And water solubility? That decreases too, because as that long water-hating carbon chain grows, it completely dominates the molecule's behavior.
Section 6. Unknown Hydrocarbon Exam Checklist.
All right, so we've covered the history, the math, the structures, and the physical trends. Now it's time to actually equip you with a practical toolkit. If you're handed an unknown vial of liquid in your chemistry practical, how do you actually identify it? Well, the crucial point is applying the step-by-step detective's checklist. Number 1, find the math. Count your carbons and hydrogens to see exactly which general formula it fits. Number 2, spot the functional group. Does it have an OH or maybe a double bond? Number 3, test the reactivity. A classic, absolutely must-know exam scenario is adding orange-brown bromine water. Unsaturated alkenes like ethene will rapidly react and turn the water colorless, while saturated alkanes like ethane will do absolutely nothing. And finally, check the physical state. If it's a thick, viscous liquid with a high boiling point, you know for sure you're dealing with a long carbon chain. This checklist essentially turns confusing chemistry into a really satisfying process of elimination.
Recap the lecture now.
Moving on to Section 1, the math of the series, focusing on alkanes and alkenes. Now, we can use a really simple blueprint formula to build any family member from absolute scratch. You don't need to memorize every alkane or alkene out there. You just need the math. Alkanes use single bonds and follow the formula CnH2n plus 2. Alkenes, they use a double bond with the formula CnH2n, starting with at least 2 carbons. And hey, here's a quick memory trick for you. Alk-A-Ns, Alk-E-Ns, Alk-Y-Ns, A-E-Y. Alphabetical order perfectly matches the bonds. Single, double, triple. Keep that in your back pocket for test day.
Legend 2. Meet the families, specifically alcohols and carboxylic acids. When we line up the alcohol family here, look at what happens as we move from methanol to ethanol to propanol. That OH hydroxyl group, it stays exactly the same. Oh, and another quick trick for you. The word alcohol ends in OL, right? And its functional group literally has an O and an H. Anyway, notice how the carbon changes grows by 1 CH2 brick every single time. It's a perfect, predictable sequence. And you'll see the exact same pattern applies to carboxylic acids. Now, these are compounds that form weak acidic solutions in water, and they're all anchored by their shared -COOH carboxyl group. Methanoic, ethanoic, propanoic. The chain gets longer, sure, but the chemical identity is totally locked in by that specific functional group. Let's actually check your answers to make sure you're 100% ready for the exam. Grab your pen, let's mark these together. Question 1. C3H8 belongs to the homologous series of which group? Look closely at the ratio of carbon to hydrogen there. Which blueprint formula does that fit perfectly? Just take a second to do the math in your head.
Great job if you got this. The answer is C, alkanes, because 3 carbons times 2 is 6, plus 2 equals 8 hydrogens. That perfectly confirms it fits the CnH2n plus 2 formula of a saturated alkane. Moving right along to question 2. Which functional group is present in alcohols? Think back to the family rules we literally just reviewed. What's the specific surname or anchor for the alcohol family?
Spot on. The answer is B. The OH or hydroxyl group is the active site that makes methanol, ethanol, and propanol behave exactly like alcohols.
As to our final thought for this explainer, the homologous series is just a beautiful reminder that in chemistry, structure is destiny. If you take an unknown molecule and snap on just one more simple carbon building block, what hidden macroscopic properties will it suddenly reveal? Will it turn from a gas to a liquid? Will it completely stop dissolving in water? The blueprint is always there, just waiting for you to do the math. Keep exploring, keep deducing, and hey, good luck on your exams.